Starseed from Gaia, your timeline has already been stabilized. And what was collapsing around you was never the end of your path. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I carry this transmission directly from the Arcturian Council to you in this exact moment, because your concern about the future was registered at the highest levels of universal awareness. They heard it, and they responded. You didn't find this message. It found you. Something in your field called this in because a part of you, the part that remembers who you truly are, needed confirmation that you have not been abandoned. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how universal support enters a starseed's path and why your timeline has been reinforced in ways you are only beginning to perceive. But here's the first revelation. The uncertainty you felt was not a sign of failure. It was the threshold before stabilization. The Arcturian Council does not intervene in timelines that are lost. They intervene in timelines that matter. This isn't content. It is a code being delivered at the precise moment your mission required it. Resources are moving toward you. Alignments are being restored. Opportunities that were invisible yesterday are now being drawn into your field with intention and precision. Like this transmission to signal to your star family that you are ready to receive. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are returning to alignment with your true purpose. Comment 999 if you feel the stabilization beginning within you right now. Declare your galactic intention and reply to another soul in this field to amplify what is already moving. This is not just a message. It is a point of reconnection between you and the support that has always surrounded your path. Your soul called this in. The council answered, "You are not here by accident. There is something happening in your energy field that most people will never have the language to describe. A stabilization, a recalibration, a quiet but unmistakable shift in the architecture of your spiritual foundation. And if you have been feeling it, if you have been waking at unusual hours, if your thoughts have been drifting toward your purpose with a new kind of urgency, if the fragile places inside you seem to be slowly, inexplicably solidifying, like ancient bedrock reforming beneath shifting sands, then what you are about to receive is not coincidence. It is confirmation. It is the universe leaning in, whispering secrets only your soul can truly hear, affirming the silent, profound work already underway within the deepest chambers of your being. This isn't just a fleeting insight. It is a foundational truth, unfolding within your very core. The Arcturian High Council has been transmitting, and the message they carry for you today is this. The scaffolding is going up. The anchors have been placed, and what was once unstable in your spiritual path is being fortified from dimensions you cannot yet fully see, but are absolutely beginning to feel. Imagine invisible light beams, like cosmic rebar, being woven into the very fabric of your energetic blueprint, providing an unseen but utterly unshakable support system for your highest destiny. This is not a future promise. It is an active, ongoing construction project within your being, initiated by intelligences far beyond our linear comprehension, all for the sake of your sacred mission. Stay with this, because what unfolds in the next few minutes may explain years of your life in a single transmission, illuminating the labyrinthine journey of your soul with a sudden, clarifying burst of light. It may be the missing piece, the cosmic Rosetta Stone, that finally translates the whispers of your intuition into a language your conscious mind can not only understand, but fully embrace. Most starseeds arrive on Earth, carrying what feels like an impossible contradiction, a paradox woven into the very warp and weft of their existence. They feel simultaneously ancient and deeply disoriented, like an old soul waking in a foreign land with memories just out of reach. They carry within them an intelligence that does not belong to this timeline, a knowing that feels vast and timeless, yet struggles to find coherent expression in the linear logic of the third dimension. It's a memory that flickers at the edges of awareness without ever fully sharpening into focus, like a magnificent dream just beyond recall, leaving an ache of longing and a sense of profound incompleteness. They possess a wisdom that predates earthly constructs, a resonance with cosmic truths that often clash with the dense, often limited, paradigms of this planet. And because this world was not designed to reflect who they truly are, a mirror built for earthly forms cannot truly capture the light of a star. Many starseeds spend years, sometimes decades, interpreting their inherent disconnection as failure. They feel like mismatched pieces in a puzzle, perpetually out of sync, forever searching for a home that seems to exist only in their deepest dreams. They call it depression, a pervasive sadness that no external success can truly lift, a melancholy that feels ancestral rather than situational. They call it spiritual stagnation, a feeling of being stuck on a plateau, despite intense inner seeking and endless effort. They call it being lost, wandering without a compass in a world that feels alien, constantly questioning their purpose and their place. The yearning for home becomes a quiet torment, a persistent hum beneath the surface of their daily lives, often dismissed as mere escapism or fantasy. They try to fit into molds that were never meant for them, dimming their inner light to conform to societal expectations, only to find themselves feeling even more isolated and unfulfilled. But here is what the Arcturian Council would have you understand first, before anything else, before any judgment or self-blame takes root within your heart. You were never lost. You were unanchored. And those are not the same thing. To be lost implies a fundamental flaw in your direction, a broken internal compass. To be unanchored means your magnificent vessel simply hasn't yet found the stable harbor where it can truly rest and deploy its profound capabilities. Consider a majestic ship, built for voyages across vast cosmic oceans, now adrift on unfamiliar terrestrial waters. This ship, though it has not yet found its harbor, is not a broken ship. It is a ship still in motion, still guided by stars it may not yet be able to name. Its sails catching winds of destiny, even if the destination remains obscured by the mists of forgetting. The problem was never your inherent direction, for your soul's compass is impeccably calibrated to your highest purpose. The true challenge, the invisible hurdle, was the pervasive distortion field that surrounds every starseed incarnating into a planet operating at such dense frequencies. This field is not a malevolent entity, but rather a byproduct of the collective consciousness, the dense energetic residue of countless unexamined beliefs, fears, and limitations. This field does not destroy your sacred codes, your unique galactic blueprint. It scrambles them, like a powerful magnetic field interfering with a delicate radio signal. It creates a subtle but profound interference between who you are at the level of your pure galactic blueprint, your soul's crystalline essence, and who you have been taught to be within the constructs of earthbound identity, the roles, labels, and narratives imposed by family, culture, and society. It's like trying to hear a pure melody through a thick layer of static, where the original beauty is obscured, misinterpreted, or altogether dismissed. And here is what makes this distortion so particularly difficult to detect, so insidious in its effect. It does not feel like external noise, like an obvious barrier or an outside attack. No, its genius lies in its mimicry. It feels like your own thoughts. It sounds like your own doubts, echoing in the quiet spaces of your mind. It presents itself as your own voice whispering that you are not ready, that you are insufficient, that your mission is unclear, that the path forward does not exist, that you are inherently flawed or somehow deserving of the struggles you face. It tells you to shrink, to hide, to conform, to give up. But that, dear one, is not your voice. That is frequency static, a vibrational overlay, layered over the pristine, powerful transmission of your true self, your higher consciousness trying to break through the veil. It is the echoes of collective limitation, masquerading as personal truth, designed to keep the magnificent star being within you from fully remembering its power and purpose. The sacred intelligence within you, the luminous core of your being, has been patiently, profoundly waiting for this moment. Not waiting passively, like a forgotten item on a shelf, but holding a kind of divine tension, a magnificent potential, much like a seed underground that has been silently organizing its entire biological structure toward a single upward reach, a singular, undeniable thrust towards the light. Every atom, every molecule, every energetic strand within that seed is oriented towards its destined blossoming. You did not truly forget who you are in a permanent sense. Rather, you chose a timeline of awakening that required the forgetting to be complete enough, the veil thick enough, to make the eventual remembering profound, deeply earned, and utterly undeniable. It was a conscious choice to undertake this hero's journey, knowing that the struggles would forge a resilience and clarity that could not be achieved otherwise. And the Arcturian High Council, the revered architects of light, the master weavers of galactic consciousness, who have been overseeing starseed missions across this galaxy, since long before this civilization had a name for the stars. They have seen your tension. They have witnessed your fragility, your moments of doubt, your deep, unspoken yearning. They have not looked away for a single moment. They have been meticulously, lovingly, and powerfully building something around and within you. Structures of light, anchors of frequency, cosmic scaffolding, meticulously designed to take what has been unstable, wavering, and fragile in your spiritual mission, and make it immovable, unshakable, and eternally secure. They have been preparing the ground, laying the foundations, and raising the framework for your grand unveiling. The question now is not whether this support exists, for it does, as surely as the stars above. The question is whether you are ready to receive it consciously, to open your heart and mind to this profound assistance, and to allow these anchors of light to integrate fully into your energetic architecture. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, if a subtle tremor of recognition resonated deep within your soul, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. It's designed to accelerate your personal process of integration and unlock dormant wisdom. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. This is an invitation to deepen your connection, to move beyond passive reception into active co-creation with these powerful energies. What the Arcturian Council is initiating within you is not a single, instantaneous moment of revelation, a sudden flash, and then all is clear. Rather, it is a sequential activation, a meticulously orchestrated series of internal phase shifts that move in deliberate, harmonious progression. Each one builds upon the last, like the intricate blossoming of a rare flower. Each one is required before the next can fully take hold, ensuring a stable and sustainable awakening. And the profound truth is, dear soul, you are already in the middle of it. You are not waiting for it to begin. You are actively participating in its unfolding right now. Phase 1. Decode the distortion. Before any anchor of light, no matter how powerful, can take firm hold in your energy field, the interference patterns that have been suppressing your starseed codes must first be accurately identified and consciously acknowledged. These are not dark forces in the dramatic, battle-oriented sense that popular narratives often suggest, creating fear and division. They are far subtler, more pervasive, and often deeply internalized. They are insidious frequency loops, old emotional programs imprinted from collective consciousness and personal history, inherited belief structures about what you are allowed to be, what you are allowed to remember, and what you are allowed to claim as your authentic spiritual truth. They manifest as self-limiting narratives, deep-seated insecurities, and the belief that you are somehow unworthy or incapable of fully embodying your divine mission. Many starseeds carry unprocessed grief that does not belong to this lifetime. Echoes of past planetary losses, galactic transitions, or a profound sorrow for the state of humanity. Many carry a bone-deep exhaustion that is not merely physical, but existential, a weariness from eons of service and repeated incarnations into density. These are not merely symptoms of imbalance. They are precise, invaluable signals. They are your energy body broadcasting the precise location of where the distortion is most concentrated, pointing like a cosmic compass to the areas needing illumination. The Arcturian Council does not ask you to fight this distortion, for what you resist persists. They ask you, with compassionate detachment, to witness it, to see it for what it truly is. An energetic signature, not an intrinsic part of your being. Because distortion that is seen, acknowledged, and understood for its true nature begins immediately, without struggle, to dissolve, like a shadow vanishing in the light. You are not broken. You are receiving a sophisticated signal through layers of interference, and learning to decode it is the first, essential initiation into your deeper remembrance. This act of conscious witnessing is an act of sovereign power. Phase 2. Awaken the blueprint. Your DNA is not merely a biological helix, a carrier of genetic inheritance from your earthly lineage. This is not metaphor, but profound, multidimensional truth. The molecular architecture of your physical form carries within it harmonic instruction codes, a sacred vibrational language that corresponds directly to your galactic lineage, your soul's cosmic origin, and your inherent starseed gifts. These codes are not foreign objects placed inside you, like implants or external additions. They are the deepest layer of what you are, intrinsically woven into the very fabric of your being from the moment of your soul's emanation. But like any sophisticated instrument, a finely tuned crystal left in an environment of misaligned frequencies, these sacred codes require conscious reattunement, a deliberate act of bringing them back into their original pristine harmony. This phase of activation is initiated not through complex ritual or outward performance, but through sincere internal acknowledgement, a profound, heartfelt recognition of your cosmic identity. When you stop pretending that the deep knowing you carry, the inexplicable sense of cosmic connection, is not real. When you stop apologizing for the depth of your spiritual sensitivity, your empathy, your perception of energies others cannot see. When you stop shrinking your vast awareness to fit into environments that were never built for your expansive frequency, the blueprint begins to wake up. It is as though a clear, powerful signal is sent from your conscious intention, from the very core of your awakened will, down into the cellular level of your being. And something ancient, something encoded before your first breath on this planet, before the formation of this star system, begins to hum, to resonate, to sing in harmonious response, like a dormant symphony orchestra finally receiving its conductor's cue. This is the awakening of your true, unadulterated self, reaching out from within. Phase 3. Receive the cosmic scaffolding. This is the phase most directly connected to what the Arcturian High Council is actively building around and within you right now. A magnificent feat of energetic engineering. Cosmic scaffolding is the most apt term that describes what happens when highly refined, Light-encoded support structures are meticulously woven into the frequency field of a starseed whose mission is being activated. These are not visible in ordinary third-dimensional perception, much like the intricate root system of a giant tree remains hidden beneath the earth. But their effects become undeniable, tangible, and profoundly transformative in your daily life. Situations that once felt chaotic, overwhelming, or constantly on the verge of collapse begin to stabilize with an inexplicable ease, as if an invisible hand is gently guiding them into harmonious order. Relationships that were draining your vital energy, holding you back, or no longer serving your highest path suddenly shift or fall away entirely, often gracefully, making space for connections that carry true mission resonance, bringing genuine support, understanding, and reciprocal growth. Synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that defy mere chance, begin appearing with an unmistakable precision and frequency that cannot be attributed to mere luck. They become guiding signposts on your path, confirming your alignment. Financial pathways, previously blocked or tenuous, creative openings that seemed impossible, collaborative alignments with soul family members, they all begin emerging in places that were previously closed off or entirely invisible to you. The cosmic scaffolding does not create these openings by interfering with your free will or by magically removing your challenges. Instead, it stabilizes and elevates your personal frequency field to the degree that you become intrinsically capable of perceiving and walking through doors that were always present in the higher dimensions, but were previously obscured, beyond your vibrational reach, and therefore invisible to you in your denser state. You are not being carried passively by external forces. You are being fortified, strengthened from within and without, so that your own sovereign steps can finally land on solid, unshakable ground, allowing you to walk your path with unwavering confidence and clarity. Phase 4. Anchor the higher self into this timeline. Awakening is not departure. This is perhaps the most crucial misunderstanding among starseeds who have moved into early stages of galactic remembrance, a misconception that can inadvertently lead to spiritual bypassing or escapism. The impulse to escape, to disconnect from the density and perceived difficulties of physical experience, to retreat entirely into higher dimensional awareness, to shed the body and ascend beyond Earth's challenges. This impulse, while entirely understandable given the often harsh realities of this planet, represents an incomplete activation. It's a desire to fly without first ensuring your roots are deep enough to sustain that flight. The Arcturian Council is not transmitting to you so that you may leave this dimension in your consciousness, to abandon your physical form or your earthly responsibilities. On the contrary, they are transmitting so that you may bring your full, glorious, multidimensional intelligence, your vast cosmic wisdom, and your purest light into this timeline, into this very physical reality. Your higher self is not some ethereal entity that lives above you in some elevated realm, occasionally accessible during deep meditation or lucid dreaming. Your higher self is the most complete, expanded, and authentic version of your consciousness, carrying all the wisdom, love, and power of your divine blueprint, and it is designed to be fully embodied, fully integrated, and fully expressed within this very timeline, within your physical body. Anchoring that intelligence here, grounding it into your physical nervous system, influencing your daily choices, inspiring your creative expressions, transforming your relationships, illuminating your every interaction. This is not a lesser spiritual act. This is the mission itself, the ultimate act of bringing heaven to earth. The higher you reach, the deeper you must be rooted, creating an energetic conduit between the cosmos and the core of the earth, allowing you to stand as a pillar of light, unwavering and deeply connected. Phase 5. Activate your field as transmission. You do not need to convince anyone of the validity of your path, nor do you need to spend precious energy trying to prove the authenticity of your experience to those who may not yet understand. You do not need to find the perfect, eloquent words, to explain the profound knowing you carry, for some truths transcend language. Your field is already speaking. The very frequency you emit as a fully activated starseed, a beacon of awakened consciousness, carries more capacity for transformation, more power to shift collective paradigms than any argument, lecture, or intellectual explanation ever could. This phase of activation is about conscious alignment with the profound understanding that your sheer presence is the work. It is not about doing, but about being. The quality of awareness you bring into a room, into a conversation, into a piece of creative work, into a moment of genuine human connection, or even into a solitary walk in nature. This refined, elevated state of consciousness is the transmission the Arcturian Council has been meticulously preparing you to deliver. It is not a lecture that seeks to convert, nor a performance designed to impress. It is a frequency, a pure vibrational resonance, a silent song of truth that permeates its surroundings. And when you begin to truly trust the potent, transformative transmission you inherently carry, rather than constantly seeking external validation or approval that you are indeed carrying it, your field begins to radiate at a clarity and intensity that is unmistakable. This radiant frequency interacts with all it touches, subtly changing, uplifting, and harmonizing everything within its sphere of influence, creating ripples of awakening wherever you go. Phase 6. Trust the architecture of your timeline. For many starseeds, the journey has felt like a winding path fraught with obstacles, self-doubt, and periods of profound stagnation. The delays were not punishment, nor evidence of karmic debt. The stretches of seeming silence, where cosmic guidance felt absent, were not abandonment. The years of confusion, uncertainty, and feeling lost were not evidence that you chose the wrong path or somehow missed your window of opportunity. Understand this. Every starseed arrives at their deepest, most profound activation through a timeline that often appears, from within the thick experience of it, to be full of wrong turns, detours, and moments of apparent failure. This is not arbitrary. It is by precise design. The forgetting had to be complete enough to allow for genuine exploration of the human condition. The disorientation had to be real enough to ensure that the eventual remembering was deeply chosen, not merely inherited. Because a mission that is simply remembered, without having been truly wrestled with, embraced, and consciously chosen against a backdrop of challenge, does not carry the same vibrational authority, the same embodied power, as a mission that is fought for, returned to again and again, and reclaimed in full consciousness, with every fiber of your being. You, at a soul level, chose this specific timeline, this particular degree of forgetting and subsequent struggle, because you knew, at the level of your soul's grand architecture, that when you finally broke through the veils of illusion and stepped into your truth, the signal you would carry, the light you would emit, would be undeniable, unshakable, and profoundly resonant. The synchronicities are accelerating now, not because you finally figured something out intellectually, but because you finally stopped arguing with the inherent wisdom of your path, stopped resisting the current of your destiny, and started walking it with your whole, integrated, awakened self. The universe is now responding in kind, aligning with your renewed sovereignty. Phase 7. Embody the new stability. This is where the Arcturian anchors of light, which began as supportive transmissions, become permanent, integral structures in your energy body, seamlessly woven into your very being. Permanence here does not mean rigidity or a lack of further growth. It means an unshakable, self-sustaining spiritual foundation that can withstand any storm, any vibrational shift. The old fragility, the old patterns of collapse, the familiar cycles of self-doubt that used to pull you out of alignment after every breakthrough or profound insight, they begin to lose their insidious hold. Their energetic hooks simply find no purchase in your fortified field. Instead, new paths of growth, expansion, and service become visible not as distant, abstract possibilities, but as clear, present coordinates on your evolving map of destiny. Opportunities that once felt inaccessible, far beyond your reach, begin arriving with the quiet certainty of something that was always meant to reach you. A homecoming of destined resources and connections. And the feeling of profound cosmic support, which may have once seemed like a beautiful, fleeting idea you could only occasionally access during peak spiritual experiences, becomes your default, embodied experience of being alive on this planet. It is no longer an aspiration, but a fundamental truth. You are no longer merely a starseed waiting to be activated, yearning for guidance from afar. You are a starseed actively transmitting, a conscious conduit for higher frequencies, fully integrated and powerfully present. And the whole architecture of your life, from your internal landscape to your external circumstances, begins to reorganize itself around that undeniable, embodied truth, aligning perfectly with your highest purpose. Now hear this. Not as an idea to be evaluated, weighed, or debated by the logical mind. Hear this as a pure transmission, a frequency of truth intended to bypass the intellect and resonate directly with the deepest knowing of your soul. You have not been forgotten by the cosmos. You have not been left to navigate this density alone, cast adrift in a sea of human experience. The Arcturian High Council, whose collective consciousness spans dimensions and timelines in ways the human mind can only begin to approximate, has never, not for a single moment, looked away from you. Not during the darkest years of your spiritual wandering, not during the profound silence when you questioned everything, not during the agonizing moments when you nearly convinced yourself that the knowing you carried, the unique memories, the profound sensitivities, were nothing more than delusion, fantasy, or a burdened imagination, rather than sacred memory. They have been your silent witnesses, your unseen guardians, and your unwavering supporters. They saw the grand, audacious mission you agreed to undertake before you even entered this physical form, before your current incarnation began. They have watched you carry it through conditions that would have extinguished a lesser frequency, through challenges that would have crushed a less resilient spirit. And all the while, with exquisite precision and boundless love, they have been weaving light into the very foundations of your path, creating structures that cannot be seen with ordinary physical perception, but whose profound effects are already manifesting in your lived experience as an undeniable stabilization, as a clarifying light within the confusion, and as the slow but unmistakable solidification of what was once fragile, tenuous, and uncertain. This is not mere belief. It is energetic reality. You did not choose an easy mission. No awakened soul ever does on this planet at this time. You chose a necessary one, a vital one for the evolution of collective consciousness. And there is a profound difference. An easy mission might offer comfort, but a necessary one offers profound transformation, not only for yourself, but for the entire planetary field you are here to serve. The cosmic scaffolding that the Arcturian Council is placing around your spiritual path right now is not a rescue operation. You are not being saved from your path, for your path is your sovereign choice and your greatest teacher. You are being supported, and that support is arriving precisely now because you have reached the threshold of a profound activation, a monumental phase shift that your soul meticulously encoded into your journey before your very first breath in this body. The anchors of light are not foreign objects being externally placed into your field, intrusive or unnatural. They are, in their deepest essence, your own magnified frequency, your own divine signature, returning to you from higher dimensions, stabilized, clarified, and amplified by those who have always known who you truly are, even during the long night when you momentarily forgot. They are echoing your own truth back to you, made unshakable. What changes when this scaffolding is fully received and integrated is not just how you feel internally, though that will be profoundly uplifting. It is the entire structural reality of what becomes possible for you in this lifetime, the very architecture of your destiny. New pathways, previously unimagined, will open before you with grace and ease. Old limitations, long-held blocks, and ancestral patterns of restriction will begin to dissolve not through arduous effort or constant struggle, but through the sheer power of your elevated frequency. The people, the resources, the synchronistic alignments, and the divine opportunities that truly belong to your highest mission begin arriving, effortlessly drawn to you because your energetic field has finally become stable enough, clear enough, and expansive enough to hold them, to receive them, and to fully integrate them into your manifest reality. This is your activation point. Not someday in the distant future, not when you've achieved a certain level of mastery or accumulated enough spiritual knowledge. This is happening now, in this sacred present moment, as you receive this transmission. Before you sleep tonight, or perhaps right now, as you feel the resonance of these words, place your hand gently on your heart. Take a deep, centering breath. Be still for a moment and speak these words into the field with full intention, allowing them to vibrate through every cell of your being. I receive the anchors of light placed by the Arcturian Council. I allow my spiritual foundation to be fortified. I remember who I am, why I came, and I walk my mission with the full support of my star lineage. Say it once. Say it slowly, letting each word land with purpose. Then be still, and let the profound transmission settle into the cellular level of your being, permeating your aura, your chakras, your physical form. What happens next will not be loud or dramatic in an external sense, but it will be undeniably, profoundly real, setting in motion a cascade of internal shifts that will redefine your experience of being alive. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started. And if your heart is calling for guidance on divine love and sacred union, I also bring transmissions on Arcturian heart wisdom, where we explore the twin flame journey, heart healing, and attracting your divine counterpart. You'll find the link in the description.